With final playoff place on the line, it got so close, literally down to the wire. 31 thousandths of a second set the playoff grid. Let's talk about the Coke Zero Sugar 400 and let's talk about the playoffs. Because it went very wrong very quick for a lot of people on the bubble. Tyler Reddick went around, end of stage one, and it looked like it might have been over. Able to tape at the front end, no proper mechanical damage, so he was able to go back out in 45. That meant that Alex Bowman was now the person in the hot seat, and he ends up turned. He ends up out. He ends up 36th. That was not the end of it, though, because even though he is out and in 36th, it meant that he was now potentially on the outside looking in. It depended on what was going to happen with Chris Buescher. It depended on what was going to happen with if there was a new winner. And in the end, we were very close to asking that what if. Because behind the winner, Ryan Blaney, who managed to stick it just clear of what was going to be a 4-wide, potentially even photo finish, you had Daniel Suarez, Justin Haley, and Cole Custer. Heck, rounding out the top 5, you had Eric Jones. You had potentially all 3 track houses getting in at the expense of a Hendrick car. You had potentially a Spire car getting in at the expense of a Hendrick car. You had potentially Haas. That's right, Haas, who were selling up shop 12 months ago, getting into the playoffs. Or even Legacy Motor Club. What a run that would have been. I mean, Jimmy Johnson got, 3rd in the Daytona 500? That would have been impressive. But no. Blaney made sure that Bowman the Showman gets in. Blaney made sure the Reddick was also quite a bit safe. And yeah, gets another drafting win. Good job to him, fair play to him. Which means that the playoff grid is set, and with the regular season points also playing a factor in it, let's have a bit of a talk about this. Kyle Larson comes in as the top seed. He's on 2,032 points, the same as regular season champion William Byron. That shows the importance of winning, as well as the importance of regular season points, because in regular season points, Larson was 3rd, but he ended up coming out of it with, 3 wins to Bowman's 2. Denny Hamlin is 3rd on the playoff grid, despite being 6th in the regular season on 2029. Then 3 points further back, we have Ryan Blaney with that most recent win, who himself is 3 points clear of Christopher Bell. And then behind Bell, he is 1 point clear of Shane Van Gisbergen. And that is the power of winning. Because remember, Bell won 3 times in the year. He won He got a 3-peat, right? SVG won 4 times. In some cases, SVG didn't pick up stage points. But for Bell, 5th place in the regular season championship meant that he was only just ahead of SVG, who gets Rookie of the Year. He's the only rookie to make the playoffs. But that's probably hardly surprising, given the contender was Riley Herbst, who is 35th in the standings. SVG himself is 9 points clear of Chase Elliott, Mr. Consistency, who ended up 4th in the regular season standings. Chase Elliott is 3 points clear of the other Chase, Briscoe. Then we have a tie below them on 2,008 points between Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric, both of whom won once, both of whom have had fine form, and also both of whom ended up out at Daytona. Behind them, we have 2 drivers 1 point less on 2007. That is Ross Chastain and Joey Logano. And if you were to tell me that all 3 Penske cars were going to get in, and Joey Logano was going to be last of them, I would be a bit surprised, given that he'd just become a 3-time champion. But not only that, Joey Logano is only 1 point clear of the Wood Brothers car of Josh Berry, who is tied with Tyler Reddick. And if you were to tell me that both of the 2311 cars would get through, and the person who was 9th was Bubba Wallace. I mean, I'm a massive Bubba Wallace fan, but you would have thought that Reddick would win at some point to get his way in. But no, he pointed his way in. He was 14th. Austin Dillon is 5th on 2005, and then last on 2002 points is Alex Bowman. Now, granted, for the round of 16, it's not too bad. 5 points would be enough to get himself in, if you only needed that to get in there. But it is going to be tricky for Alex Bowman. At the same time, though, my preseason predictions say the 16th seed will make the round of 8. And given that it's Alex Bowman, as long as they don't get DQ'd at the Roval again this year, I think I've got a good shout at getting something there. Either way, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching and joining. I always appreciate your support in these videos. And yeah, hopefully in the coming days, I'll be able to do a reaction to my preseason predictions, which included playoff predictions, and make my final picks for each of the rounds going into the finale in Phoenix. If you do want to stick around for anything else in the world of motorsport, I have videos coming up in the next few days from the likes of Supercars Series in Australia, Super Formula in Japan, WRC event preview as well. So be sure to stick around for those. Till next time though, it's bye for now.